Hi ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary folks. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Yugen, and today I'm going to talk about something that makes me want to scream. I'm going to be ranting about 5 queer tropes that I absolutely hate, while I'm drawing little illustrations for each one to keep you visually entertained. The first trope I'm going to be talking about is the Bur Your Gays trope, which is something that, it's a specific trope that has been in the queer entertainment for a while now, and it's basically when the gay characters get killed off for drama. And to be honest, I totally hate this because it's always very unnecessary to kill them off, and it's very obvious that the showrunners just want to kill them to not get into lawsuits, or I don't know, maybe just because they like to see queer people suffering. And now, I'm not saying this trope never works. And I know that sometimes when a show or a series is dramatic and melancholic, it's necessary to have some death going around. Take Banana Fish, for example. Ash's death is tragic, but it's written in a way that fits the story's messages. You feel the weight of it, it's deliberate, it hurts, but it means something. Now, compare that to Attack on Titan. Ymir dies off screen, Historia gets reduced to a pregnant woman living in some farm with no character arc. Their relationship is shoved off into a single letter, no follow-ups, no closure, no emotion, just gone, like they were trying to get rid of them, and that's something that I totally hate. It honestly felt like a slap in the face, queer people already get so little in media, and the little we get is just more pain, so why to even include them in the first place? Now, I'm not blaming any, I'm not, Attack on Titan is a very good show. It's just that for this specific reason, it's something that triggered me a lot, but I understand at the same time that a lot of other characters in Attack on Titan died. It's kind of the whole show's appeal, I don't know, but at the same time I feel when it's about queer characters it feels different because we don't often get to see representation done right in television, so yeah, it came up as a surprise. I also know that the Bur Your Gays trope comes from the Hays Code era when queer characters had to be punished to get past censorship, but we're not in the 50s anymore. It's time for this trope to go. Gay people deserve happy endings too, or at least real ones. If they need to kill the character because of, I don't know, censorships or whatever, at least do that correctly, not in a way that feels like you're just trying to get the characters gone and off and put a replacement in their place. At least that's my feeling about it. Next up, we have one that is totally disgusting, and it's whenever an anime, this specifically happens in animes, wants to pair a teenager with a predator. Now, okay, this is the one that makes me gag instantly, because why do so many VL anime and manga romanticize grown adults dating underage teens? I'm going to put an example, but this is not a recommendation. That anime is garbage, and I just don't watch it if you don't want to get a seizure or something. This anime I'm talking about, it's Hitorijime, My Hero, which literally has a 28-year-old teacher dating a 17-year-old student. And excuse me, but that's not romantic, that's grooming, that's a crime. And what makes me so disgusted about this, it's that most of the scenes between these two happen in school, and it always feels like a very weird rooming situation, not a romance or whatever the show was trying to do. It honestly baffles me that this still gets published and animated. What are we doing? This isn't a healing trauma. This isn't a cute age gap love story. It's exploitation, plain and simple. I get that in the past, some queer people had very complicated and even harmful relationships due to how repressive society was, especially in the 70s and 80s. But we don't have to keep repeating those stories as if they are goals. They are not. Literally, they are not goals. You shouldn't follow these steps. It's wrong. And if a character is groomed or abused, it should be part of a survival narrative, not a love story, period. Now, I'm sorry for getting a little bit louder, but it's just it infuriates me so much. But now, there are some anime narratives that treat this abuse for what it is. Abuse. Take Twilight out of focus and Banana Fish, for example. Hisashi Otomo, a character from Twilight Out of Focus, suffered from being groomed by a teacher at a very young age, and once he grows up, he confronts him.
I agreed with you, you manipulative, disgusting pedophile. We should break up. You're a sick who gets his rocks off by little kids. Which, let's face it, means I'm way too old to mess with that nasty.
I especially like this narrative because it shows abuse for what it is. Abuse! And that's it. There doesn't need to be a romance where there is not. So yeah, that's all for this trope. For the third one, we have what I call "You Are My Only Exception." And what I mean by this, it's basically whenever a character, specifically when it's a BL, and usually the love interest is supposedly straight, but suddenly falls for just one guy and says something like, "I'm not gay, I just love you." And I'm like, sir, that's not how sexuality works. This trope often avoids saying the word bisexual, and if it's some kind of... it treats us like it's some kind of curse. Like, being queer, it's not something that should be celebrated. And I understand that sometimes it's because, internalized homophobia, but instead we get a lot of gay panic, awkward denial, and then they just skip over the whole identity part entirely. I'm not saying every character needs to label themselves. Being queer and not being not treating it like a necessity to actually put a label on yourself, it's fine. However, labels, even though aren't for anyone, this trope, I don't feel like it's going towards that way. I feel like this trope is more often used when it feels like it's running away from queerness, not exploring it. Treating it like the writers are afraid to even do a proper Google search and be like, okay, how does sexuality works? I have seen this trope specifically when they feminize one guy and hyper-masculinize the other, so this dynamic feels like it's just hetero, but without actually saying or giving the characters some sexual understanding of their surroundings. They feel like they still consider themselves heterosexuals in some weird way, which really makes me really mad, because queer characters should be queer. It's not that hard. You don't need to pretend something you're not. Even if you have found someone that has changed your world's perspective, you just need to accept it. And I feel like this is a very strong message that needs to be taught to children, because they often feel like, oh yeah, it was just one exception, I'm still straight. And I'm like, okay, maybe that could be the case, but again, you don't need to feel like pressure to think of yourself as heterosexual if you are not. Or at least that's my opinion, but yeah. Now, for the fourth trope, it's ultra feminization versus toxic masculinity. And oh my god, Love Stage is the worst offender for this. They make one character super soft, baby boy is fragile, sparkly eye, and the other one is angry, aggressive, and emotionally constipated. It's just heteronormativity in cosplay, and I hate it. And what annoys me even more is that they don't explore these traits. The feminine guy doesn't get to talk about gender expression or feel empowered. The masculine guy doesn't deal with his toxic behavior. It's just vibes, and those vibes suck. And I get it. I know that femininity isn't encompassed only to women, but it gets weird whenever a couple tries to fit into the submissive and the dominant role. It's a necessity. You cannot be queer and have two totally masculine guys together, because someone needs to get in the feminine side of the thing. I don't know how to explain it, but it's totally frustrating, because that's not how it should work. Even with heterosexual couples, that's not how it should be. Not because you're a female you should behave a certain way, not because you're a male you should be a certain way either. Now, compare that to Sasaki to Miyano. That show actually does explore gender representation, because Miyano is feminine and insecure about it. But that doesn't mean that it's in a case where he doesn't know how to express himself correctly. Sasaki loves him not because he's like a girl, but because he's him, a man, someone who, yes, might be presented as someone feminine, but that doesn't mean he's not a man. And he even says Miyano is handsome, not cute, one time when Miyano brings this up, and he's like, I don't want to be treated as a girl, I don't want to be perceived as feminine, because that's not how I choose to represent myself with. And I feel that's really cool. That's how you do it, respectfully, thoughtfully, not without unnecessary feminine scenes where you're just seeing some sort of heterosexual couple in cosplay, because that's how it usually feels. So yeah, Sasaki to Miyano, love it. Love Stage, not so much. Now, for the last trope, I had one that is particularly unnerves me, and it's the good luck babe ending. This one is personal. I hate it, irrationally. It's when a sapphic couple is clearly in love, clearly the emotional core of the story, and then one of them gets pregnant or married to a man and the whole thing just dies. Like, why? It's like you're telling me these two girls survived trauma, found each other, had actual chemistry, and then what? When it's pregnant and has to live a sad, suburban life, that's the end? I won't lie, this happened in Nana, and it hurt so bad. Like, the storytelling is amazing, the fashion is stunning, but the way it ends, I just didn't like it. And now I understand, like, the story is not finished yet, and I want the author to finish it because she's such a talented author with Paradise Kiss too, and she has grown queer representation before. So I'm not like saying Nana is bad or anything. I'm just saying that that particular like closure, it's not something that I liked, and it's not only on Nana. Like we see that again on Attack on Titan, which happens when Historia has to marry a guy because Ymir dies, and then Historia has a baby with some guy we don't care about, and now we're supposed to believe that was her happy ending. Like, did you see her face? That's not peace, that's resignation. Now, I did read a manga called Run Away With Me Girl that started out like this, but then they actually run away together and raise a kid. It's messy, it's imperfect, but it gave me hope, because I feel like this trope can be properly used correctly. But at the end, if you're just going to introduce a very convincing romantic story and then just expect the readers to like drop it off because a guy just show up, it's not going to happen because the dynamic was already established. Why will you need to change it? That's what I want in my queer stories. Not betrayal and baby daddies, just stories where love wins. And I feel like this is something very important now that we're on Pride Month and seeing a lot of shows. I'm very excited to see that through the years we have been able to see like more queer shows being serialized and like get to see how they are going to like overcome the whole hatred around the queer community. So yeah. Those are the 5 queer tropes I absolutely hate. Some of them might have potential in very specific contexts, but most of them just throw them out, like literally they are not that necessary. Queer media can be powerful, but these tropes, they hurt me more than they help, and I think we deserve better. Let me know in the comments what tropes make you scream or cry or both. I wanna know. Also, if my accent is hard to understand, I'm sorry. I'm originally from Mexico and I didn't grow up speaking English. I learned it in high school and I'm still learning as I go. But I really wanted to share my thoughts with you all, and since I don't know why, but most of my demographic is from the United States for some strange reason. Speaking English has become sort of necessity to me. I won't lie, I would prefer to like make my videos in Spanish because that's my native language. Like there are a lot of slangs and modism I cannot use because yeah, speaking English. But yeah, that's all. Thank you for watching anyways and listening. Bye.